Hello and welcome everybody, my alias is Abron, and today on Guide to Hacker I'm starting a new series called Guide to Networking, and what this series is about is I'll be talking about the very basics of networking to start out with, and then I'll be going into more advanced concepts, techniques, and theories leading up to network security. The reason I'm doing this is because you need to know the ins and outs of a computer and a network to understand how to secure it. So I'm starting from the very basics. I want to make this simple, organized, fast, small tutorial so you can go at your own pace. When I was doing this research, I found it very unorganized and very complicated. So I just wanted to make it simple for you guys in a nice little tutorial. So in this first video of the series, I'm just talking about the advantages of networking. Why businesses, companies, and yourself even have a network when it is not secure, when it can never be 100% secure unless you throw away the key, lock it in a safe, and never touch it again. And of course, never plug it in. But of course, we don't want to do that. Why would we get a computer in the first place? But there are advantages, 8 that I found, that far outweigh the billions of dollars getting taken away from businesses, companies, and personal people getting their information stolen, maybe how much money they have, etc., etc. So, what is a network? A network is a group of 2 or more computers connected together for the exchange of data and the sharing of resources like printers and CD-ROMs, right? That is a network if you don't know. And there are 8 advantages to why this is so important, why this is revolutionary, why networks are just taking off. Every single person has a network. And the first advantage is the fast service and time saving involved in having and setting up a network. It's that information can be synchronized among different computers at a very high speed. When one user makes a change to an online data point, others can see that change immediately. Examples include reservation systems, online banking, etc. My second point is information and data sharing. Now, this information or data can be shared between different departments, organizations, and different places at a very high speed and a very low cost. My third point is the high security. Now, relating this to how we used to exchange information, share resources, it'd be over paper, probably over the mail system. And relating to a network and how a computer works is you can have relatively high security if you know what you're doing, or you have the people, they know what they're doing. And you can provide security by storing data in one server instead of different computers. You can protect the data from modification, from deletion, from theft, fire, and floods. The fourth point is the high reliability, the ease to back something up. Relating to how paper would be, you would have to make copies and store those copies. And what if a fire occurred? Is that data that can be replicated on 2 or more hard disks or even 2 or more computers. Say if a hard disk or machine goes down, others can be used. You can protect data from power failures, hard disk failures, heat problems, viruses, all that kind of stuff. The fifth point is resource sharing. Now, hardware resources like printers, scanners, CD-ROMs, floppy drives, modems can be shared to different clients on the network. So you don't have to buy 50 printers for 50 PCs. You would only buy 1 or 2 depending on how much printing is going on. My sixth point is communication. Now, communication across the network is the cheapest way and it's the fastest way, period. That includes internet chatting like IRC maybe, emails, net to phone, which is VoIP, net meetings like Skype. My seventh point is that software can be shared, and this is very important, is how a network works. I'm going to be going over this in a later tutorial, but just a basic is that you have internal and external IPs. Now, there isn't enough IPv4 IPs. If you heard that term, there's IPv6 coming out, but I won't get too much into that. Realize that most people have IPv4 and we're running out of IPs. So what we did to fix that is we have external IPs, which is normal IPs, and then we have the internal IPs, and those are a set range of IPs. Usually people have a class C, which is in the 192 area, and that's what I have. And usually everyone has the same internal IP, depending on what class there is. There's A, B, C, and D and E, but we won't get into that. And the only thing the software vendor checks, maybe by IP, is the external IP, because that's all they can see. So everyone in the network has the same external IP, but they all have different internal IPs. So you can share the software bought, and that's a very cheap way to do stuff. Some software costs thousands of dollars. You obviously only want to buy one key or license for that, and you can share it across the network. My 8th point is the cost reduced and easy maintenance if there is like time sharing or thin client networks. If you don't know, time sharing networks, dumb terminals are used. And if you don't know what dumb terminals are, it's irrelevant in this tutorial, but if you want to know, you can simply Google it. And the thin client network is PCs without hard disks, and they can be used for a variety of things. You don't need a hard disk for doing certain tasks. And those are my 8 advantages. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Tell me if you learned something. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next tutorial.